Alright, so I've been planning on doing this YouTube thing seriously for quite a while, and finally had all the stars align and figured that I had a pretty good concept for a show, and my stepfather agreed to let me use his extremely impressive TV room with his vast DVD collection as a backdrop for my first few videos. I'll have to figure something else out for the long term, but right now I don't know how much of a long term there's going to be. I'm going to see how this show concept ends up shaking out. It's my second attempt at actually doing the YouTube thing. First one didn't go so well, mostly because I didn't know how to promote it. So I figure this time I can just, shamelessly rip off the Lowrunner's format and pander to his audience, because nothing could possibly go wrong with this plan. So, the name of my show is going to be Give Me One of Everything. This is based on a favorite kind of corny joke of mine. I only like certain jokes of this type, but this is one of my favorites. What did the Buddhist say to the hot dog vendor? Make me one with everything. I've always liked that kind of thing. And so I was initially considering I'd go with that as the name of the show, and adjusted that slightly and came up with the idea that what I was going to do was watch one episode of each of the many different Star Trek series. I don't have access to the latest couple, so it's not going to be... I think there's according to Memory Alpha, there are 11 different shows. I think there might be 10 to 12, depending on how you count exactly, but I'm probably going to get 7 of those, because I think that's about what I have access to. So all of the classic 90s and earlier shows, plus Discovery and Picard and short treks. So I don't think we're going to have the last 3, because I have no interest in buying them, and I'm fairly certain that my stepfather does not either. If the show seems to be well received, then I could think about doing other shows beyond Star Trek, but that obviously, opens up a whole big can of worms, so I'd have to really think about how I would want to strategically decide just what qualifies as everything. So in terms of picking out which episodes of Star Trek I was going to look at for this format, I didn't want to do the first, the last, the best, or the worst, because all of those are potentially spin-off show concepts that I could do if this goes well. So I tried to be very strategic about picking one episode from kind of in the middle of each program that would work, and based on that, I have different criteria for every show. One of the things that I was very conscious of, but tried not to be too conscious of, if you follow the logic, is, where possible, I'm going to try to avoid covering ground that Lowrunner already has. I don't feel bad about the fact that I'm kind of ripping him off, because he kind of ripped off Sci-Fi Debris to the same extent. It's, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery and all that. And he and I have very different perspectives. One of the reasons why I feel like I have the strength to do this is that I have been extremely active in his comment section, and have put up grand, sweeping reinterpretations and conspiracy theories, and saying, I agree with this, but I don't agree with that, and here's XYZ of why. I didn't do that on purpose. If I expand this out eventually to some sort of ruminations or SF Debris type look at all of the episodes, which would only happen if you guys liked me enough to start paying me, and that's a long way from the point where I would even ask. I don't want to split anybody's market, and I certainly am not feeling like I'm that degree of professional as of yet, having only done this for a year max. But, I'm gonna put a little thought into trying to move in that direction long term. So if I were to eventually cover every episode of Star Trek, there are going to be some where I'm not going to have an awful lot to say, and some where what I would have to say would basically just be, ripping off Lowrunner, or possibly Sci-Fi Debris, although I'd have only watched a tiny bit of his show, so it'd be hard for me to rip him off intentionally. But for this initial experiment, at least, I'm specifically aiming at going after shows where I disagreed with a significant aspect of what he had to say, and where, excuse me, where my own take on the subject matter is going to be substantially different. That'll be kind of the rockiest road in terms of the first episode, which is going to be the original series, because he's currently covering that right now. He's still not done, although he's getting there. So I'm, I aimed for a fairly early original series episode, so it's at least been a few months, and I very deliberately did not rewatch what he said, so hopefully I will not accidentally retread the same ground. For right now, I'm still kind of feeling out the format. I think what I'm going to do is, since this is intended to be an intro video, I'm going to chop this off. What I maybe should do, it would be actually at the end of each video, I would talk about what the show for the next video is going to be, and then I would actually cut that off, watch the episode, and then record the new video saying, here's the episode I just watched, and here's the episode I'm going to watch. But that probably wouldn't be good for the show. So, I'm going to see what happens, and, maybe I can do a stop-start kind of a thing, or maybe I can do just, 2 episodes for the first one, and then, ask the question as one video and answer that question and ask the next one for the next video. So I'll have to figure that out as I go along. But for right now, I think it is high time that I actually watched an episode of the original series, and you'll find out what that is in a minute. Bye.